Good morning. Is God a tyrant? Is there any time that you feel like, surely, no, Lord, if you knew how bad I wanted this, if you knew how weak I was, if you knew how lonely I was, if you knew how much I wanted this thing, you wouldn't withhold it from me. You wouldn't tell me this is wrong. Well, the devil does tell us that sometimes, doesn't he? In Genesis chapter 3, particularly, the devil says, has God indeed said, what? That you shall not eat of every tree? And he said explicitly that you can eat of all the trees, except one, the knowledge of the tree of good and evil. He'd given them all that. Now, God gives us so much, but the devil manages to get our focus on the one thing that we're not supposed to have. That one thing that's out there that the devil continuously reminds us of. But what did she do? She said, no, you shall not eat of it, nor shall you touch it. God didn't say anything about touching it. But here was already the subtle suggestion. It was already fertilizing in her mind that not only can I not eat it, I can't look at it, I can't touch it, I can't think about touching it. She was adding to what God said. And so it was already producing a foundation of thinking in her heart of discrediting the character of God and his ultimate intention for me. Now, secondly, what did she do? So the serpent comes around and he says, you know what? You won't die. God said explicitly of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, if you eat of it, you shall surely die. He contradicted that totally. He said, you won't die. But he's a liar. And he tells us something so that we don't focus on the consequences of it. Now, what is the power of sin? The power of sin is the power to deceive, to make you think something is true when it is in actuality not. And so here she is thinking, well, God, you are holding out on me. And I really do. I looked at that tree and man, that thing looks beautiful. I mean, that fruit, I really would like to have a bite of that. And it'll make me wise. Wow. It'll make me smart. Pride. God, I mean, how could you possibly hold out on me for that? And so with that pleasant to the eyes, desirable to eat, and to make her smart, she decided to eat it. But what happened? Her eyes are open. She knows the difference between good and evil. Immediately came in guilt because they ran away from God when he was calling them in the garden. Immediately was produced loss and shame and all of these things. And they did die. So immediately they started to die. So all the things he said were not true. But what does the devil tell us? God, it's unreasonable in today's society for us to stand up for God. It's unreasonable for you to ask me this. I had somebody sit down with me here a while back, and he was showing me that at this company he was in, he was going to have to go along with a homosexual lifestyle, lesbian lifestyle, and a transgender lifestyle. Since he was in a place of authority, he was going to have to say that he supported those things. And so he's asking me, man, what do I do? I've got a family. And so it was like, God really wouldn't expect me to say, I'm not for those, would he? Because he wants me to take care of my family, right? You see, he puts us in those little pretzel positions in which obedience becomes confused. But it's really not, is it? At the end of the day, God will make it clear. When we obey him, we're blessed. Don't listen to the lie that God's holding out on you. Don't listen to the lie that he surely is unreasonable, or he wouldn't expect this of you. Whatever God calls you to do, he gives you the grace to do it. He gives you the power to do it, and he'll bless that. So don't be afraid to obey God and tell the devil to shut up. God bless you, and have a great day.